Geshe-la, 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 Okay, read me again. Read me, guys. Guys,
Evening,
go.
Geshe-la.
Read me. Happy New Year. It's very New Year. What's the New Year's already gone? 3 months ago. Very New Year's today. 13 days, 10 days. Okay. Stay. Okay. As Buddhism, we always, whenever we do any, Dharma activities, it's very important to good motivation. What is good motivation? It's exactly we recite like a first when we started pray, refuge pray. Attack refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha enter enlighten. I'm going to take refuge Buddha Dharma Sangha until I got enlightened. Why I'm to enlighten? Benefit for all mother sentient beings. Whatever I did, any activities, it will be Dharma activities. It become cause to all mother sentient beings enlighten. That the main thing is refuge in Bodhisattva motivation, a thought is we need. You can so many ways you can think that all the time. That's good. No, why we need like that? Now, if anything is worldly things, we need to do something. We have good motivation. We like that. We interested that. We can do things more. No, strong or more effort is more serious. If you don't like that, if you no choice, then you're not very happy to do that. Therefore, motivation is very important. It's courage to us to do that. One is that. The second is Buddhism is, on one hand, Buddhism very difficult practice. Why? Because we need to change our thoughts, our minds. We don't want change, right? I like that. This is how I like that. I don't like that way. We don't want change our thoughts. We don't want to change our views. Don't want to change our own idea, right? Therefore, people doesn't want to change their idea. Then we are fighting all the time, physically, mentally, families, friends, countries, right? They say, I need more power. Another said, no, I need more power. Therefore, countries fight that. In the husband and wife also, they're fighting, husband, I have more power. No, I have more power. Like that. Therefore, we don't want change. They say, why we need change? Because right now, we follow our mind. Our mind, or follow also delusional mind. It's not good mind. Therefore, a lot of always some excuse. Therefore, they say you have to change. Another one example is say, don't be angry. He says, no, I don't want to be angry. That makes me angry. Right? We are always like that. But that things very difficult to change. Buddhism says you have to change that. The secondly, Buddhism is very easy to practice. Everything is your own motivation. When your motivation good, you can do a lot of things. When your motivation good, you can lie small things. Like that. Therefore, on one hand difficult, one hand easy, but motivation is good. With Mahayana, Hinayana, it also depends how you motivation or how you thinking. Therefore, motivation important. Always be good motivation. If you any dharma activities, your motivation is I do this for enlighten all mother sentient beings. Your merit can never end until enlighten. Because you make a very long way. You say, okay, I'm going to do this activity for this month jobs to successful. And this month jobs finish and not anymore there because you didn't put that. Then like that. Therefore, motivation is just very open, very wise mind. It's not very much. Okay? Therefore, this is our always motivation. Then we'll have to do a little meditation. And before many weeks, many months, we study Kamabari. You got a Kamabari yet? What are the levels?
Close.
I thought we already, how you call, graduate. What level you got?
I'm still in daycare.
Anyway, we study Kamabari, the concentration. Now, after a couple of weeks, we go to also concentration or wisdom. Therefore, it's very extensive for the Lambotsongavas, the Lamrim, maybe like hundreds of pages. And we go through that. It's that's talking. But I choose this book. First, we tried this one, Liberation from Our Hand. There's a very just a couple pages, but it doesn't give much information for us. Then we can check after that, and we can go to more details. It's talk about all emptiness. People like emptiness, right? I like emptiness. And this is like analytical meditation. Before what we did, concentration. Now it's time to analytical meditation. Through analytical meditation, you find the reality. This is we call this stuff like that. Okay. Before that, we can do the meditation the same as before. All like to you just sit comfortable as much as you can. Then a couple of times to breathing in and out. Your mind also focus. Okay, now I'm breathing in, out. Just try to as much as you can. Your mind like going out, like think that. Okay, but to not pay attention anything is going on outside. of visualization. Before we do the Buddha image, if you're easy or comfortable, you can visualization Buddha image in front of you, or you can focus any objects. You can focus your own feeling, your own mind. It's not change, but to keep your mind on the one object. Thirdly, I want to try to find yourself. First, you just make sure you identify. I'm Jennifer. I'm Mark. I'm Rika. I'm Bob. Whatever your name, you can aware your name, your feeling, or you just the thought to I'm the Bob. The second thought to okay, I'm the Bob, but how can I find myself? I say I'm Bob, but which one the Bob? Like that. But to find yourself, first whatever your name, I'm the second that changed the thought, okay. I say I'm the Bob, but which one my Bob? But to find here that, okay? Okay. Pawn yourself. I want to pawn yourself. Pawn that.
Point.
Pawn yourself. Okay? Right. What means? Your heart?
Sure, no, okay. The heart.
Heart's piece meat. Yeah, piece meat, right? You're the doctor, you're not, right? You're not. Okay, this is a heart to meditation, okay? So I'm here. It's also just head. We call my head. It's a my heart. Exactly the same. It's a my mala. My head, heart, something like behind that, right? It's heart meditation. This is how we go to discussion. Also, we try to do a little bit more meditation. I like to do more meditation and also to share you guys also one experience. But through that, I need to read book and and read book, and you can learn meditation like that. Okay, okay. You guys find yourself where? Jennifer, do you find? Maybe this one. You guys have my head. Okay, anyway. Oh yeah. That 간단한 감소 내려로조 제시하는 거 가와 상보래 쇼치네 로조 체네 또바 맞지바나 로조 제시하되 손 치고 사고요래.
Anyway, we're very fortunate, to be able to study this, even though we might not be able to gain the realization or even have a good understanding about it, but at least, just to go through it, very, very good.
Are you guys here, Tamshin? Okay. And the time I'm open shut down. Tomonji kola jing some ta tomonji tawa de jela machena ngamso nyamle anje tawa da tani jeba toyagita nyamle che mebesro. Yore.
So anyway, if we are not able to understand this about a special insight or emptiness, then there is no other way, for us to be able to achieve any liberation or enlightenment.
anje ngenjuye wachi shanchego semyona tomonye tomena ane ngamso tuge mewa but.
Even if you have generated renunciation and even a bodhicitta, but if you have not realized emptiness, then you will not be able to achieve liberation.
ngenjuye shanchego semla komche jan sibe tawa chopa menibe jirambuchi tachen sosha.
So Lama Tsongkhapa, said it with confidence that even if you have realized renunciation and bodhicitta, but if you have not realized emptiness, then you will not be able to cut the root of the cycle existence.
아니 동반이 따오면나 마그냠을 세다 춘돈 제가 배워요.
And if you don't have the understanding of emptiness, then the practice of Tantra will not exist at all.
샤저고 세면나야 동반이 마그냠을 제가 배워요. 아니 샤저고 세면나야 마그냠을 제가 배워요.
And also, of course, you need bodhicitta in order to do the practice of Tantra.
세단 도다 나 주소 방법 거기에 세단 도대체 마냠을 제가 지금 문도 손도 내용을.
And so you have heard about this practice or teachings on the sutra and tantra, right? The sutra is like the preliminary practice about a study before you do the practice or study of the tantra.
니 죽게 가져라 마음 못들어서다 도바치 보살때 타니만 오는 거래. 야 동반이 따와당 샤주고 세면나 아니 다 도바절라 찜면서 왔다 다 타지 줘.
In some teachings, you have heard about the great completion stages, or like the Mahamudra, the Great Seal, and so forth. So those are the tantric, high-level tantric practice, but you can't do any of those without bodhicitta or understanding of emptiness.
난 도당하고 채워도 가는 거래 생각도 지시하나 곧 이대로 오시나.
Just to explain you a little bit, in brief, the difference between sutra and tantra.
Dogi nyamne te tanda susujila tokpa de che mewa ina ya chik tela ya muba che are te che ga tapshi che ani chik tende che ya mare tanda jinga ujila shancho ko sem yo mare ji chimbo che ya mare na ta te che ga chik komra ujo tende che yore.
So in the sutra, like we try to develop this mind, of bodhicitta or renunciation, right?
Pecha jina wote she tang nga se tene mai mare pecha jana ani susul da ngando wang da toba yana ngando wang se de chirang yedam te latin dan drewe nyamne che chogre sa wang cha de che ga ta totang che ga.
And so you can do this practice any way you want, right? So however you want, in whatever level you are and able to do this practice, you can do it. But Tantra is not like that. You can't just do the practice of the Tantra. You have to be initiated, to do the practice, Tantra practice. And so you have to receive the initiation of a particular deity, to do this practice of the Tantra, the practice of that deity. And when it says, initiation, that means, like we call it empowerment or permission. Like means you are allowed or permitted, to do the practice. In order to do that, in order to have that allowance, or permission to do the practice, you need to receive initiation of that deity.
Kadar zo de tamawe nawa da shenpa nipa kaya ge nyamne chila ya ngawe nyamne shak yor.
And so, in short, the practice of the Tantra is where you negate or refute, the ordinary appearance.
Manzo la chik naa chi, hele shen hele chakpa chene yung kora dal, chakpa da dangwa chene.
So this is like ordinary appearance, and it's like, you have to arise in the appearance or have the appearance of the divine or deity. Usually, because we have this ordinary appearance, and because of that, then we get all these delusions like attachment, aversions, and so forth.
Eche na manzo shere de nyamne chiga yawa na, shere de nyamne chiga yawa na.
Example, if you are doing like the tantric practice in relation to Avalokiteshvara,
Tanda de shere de nyamne chiga susu kamba de na, susu kamba de shere de tabi shi yin samko, tate daga yin samko, tate nge kamba de samna, ni yongwe mara. Ade shere de wang, shiga wama yin za samko da.
it's capable.
Da tambo ole, tambo bana, da kogwa to na, da susu shere de chiga ole.
And so, so if you're doing the tantric practice in relation to Avalokiteshvara, or Avalokiteshvara tantric practice, then you have to generate yourself, or arise in the form of, you have to arise yourself in the form of Avalokiteshvara. So you have to think that you are Avalokiteshvara. And then the place where you do the practice, you should, like I mentioned about the ordinary appearances, so you should not have that the idea of the ordinary place. Instead, you should think that this is the special mention, of the Avalokiteshvara.
He jewala bana susu la jewala, susu tongzang ji tongba ti nga ne, ani su jaga wata, ta tongba nigi tawa mena, su la jia konga mara.
And even like generating yourself as the deity, rising in the form of deity, you can't just rise in the form of deity from the ordinary, basis, on the ordinary base, So you have to first meditate on emptiness, and that very mind of meditation on emptiness, that very mind then arises in not this body, but that mind of understanding the emptiness arises in the form of the deity.
Jiyo dewa kala ta susu bana puyi bayi na, susu nyam, ta susu bana pomo yin ba na, ani ta bana sheni ta puyi na barwa, tete nga ta pomo yin, ta sheni ta puyi, tete jiya yung samar, samay choyin ba, sheni ta kanga yin ba, ta nga jasha jane yin sam ta she shawada.
You should not have even a slightest of this ordinary appearance of thinking that I'm a male, I'm a female, or like that. So it's just like I'm deity. That's it. So let's say the Avalokiteshvara is a male deity, right? So male, and then if you are a female practitioner, and you can't say, "Oh, this is Avalokiteshvara is a male, I'm a female, and arise in the form of Avalokiteshvara." You can't think like that. So you have to abandon the ordinary appearance completely. And whatever the deity it is, then you have to think, no matter who you are, whether you are male or female, just think that you are Avalokiteshvara.
Yeda susu la ta nga pena, bob yin na, a bob sheni ta chanda, ta nga bob yin sami nawa te ko mewa su mel kote. Bob Yangi in some sharing in the cup, Bob in the Nawat Melchaten, Nawat Melchate, that's Shabatoka in Melchon, Chakos, and Ocean.
And so, like I said, you are Bob, and then you arise in the form of all of the Shara. And you should not have this clinging, to a Bob, thinking that I'm a Bob. You can't be like Bob and all of the Shara. So you have to think that I'm all of the Shara. So when you think that you're all of the Shara, then you abandon that appearance of the ordinary Bob. And at the same time, then you will also abandon the clinging to the idea of being Bob.
And Digi Suzu, that Suzu, that's like a Nedai, and the Suzu Thomas, some Kanji, that Kanji Shingam, Sad Yedam Teddy Shingam de Batakaji, as a Janet Jate Kanji, there's some Anata Kunga Yanaya.
So if you are able to think in that way, 100% like Shara, and this place where I'm doing the practice is the mandala or the celestial mention of the Shara, like that, then that can become a tantric practice. Otherwise, it doesn't become tantric practice.
But today, you see, that Suzu Tosa to Lojan Yamle Karjana, Shuchembo.
Then with that appearance, of oneself as the Shara, and then visualization of the whole place as the celestial mention of the Shara. And when you do the practice, like same practice, like the 7 limb practices you do, then it becomes very powerful.
Yeah, Telepen and so that let Tambo Talaya. Dumbaji, yeah, Shloki, some of the German, Shlokan, Nabazuko, Rajan Namjira, they were Mayate, Mandavachina, Uncle Shampisho the younger.
So this is again all in your thought, right? So it's not in the external appearance. The external appearance is the same, whatever you have the same, but internal thought has to be changed in that.
Aya Toban Tombo, one Tembochana, and it Tanta Chance of Tato. What a cheap. Chabo Mandava, Chitulomara, the Lagi Chit, the Ontario. Tombo, Yaman Tombo, Chashana, the younger. The choice. Tatobanyan and Tomojana, Achilache, the Techover.
So then if you have gained some realization, then you can, have that external appearance as well. So maybe you might have seen some lamas putting on that, what do you call that, the crown ornaments and many other, like, the garments, and the ornaments of the deities putting on their body. And you can, if you have reached that level, then you can do. Otherwise, like I said, external appearance, you don't have to, change at the beginning. You just work on the internal thoughts.
Tu Chinta Susu Litea, Yilingo Pacher. Susu Semtea, Kanje Numashivili, Kaji, Natural Sem Trashi, Tawatana to send the Pechetan, and this send the Pechetane, and it's something more and Nechto.
And so that way, when you think in that way, then you don't have this, physical gross body anymore. You have that mental body, because you're visualizing yourself as that so deity, right? So that's the mental body, and then you also utilize your very, very subtle mind. Right now, we don't really think of that subtle mind. We don't utilize that mind, to do anything. But at that time, then you will be utilizing that subtle mind, and then that makes it really fast, to gain any realizations or even to achieve or to reach the full enlightenment.
And then also when the Tamabe, now the Shembe, Shibata, Rak, Shukchetani, and the same Saw to Jungle Chetajo.
Right now, our gross mind is so strong, or the ordinary, the gross mind is so strong that it doesn't give any chance, for that subtle mind to rise.
It's an Cholo Yamasha, the Kalanganzo Penov, which you can lose partner. Couldn't even Tomorrow. It's on Luxater.
So it's like, on the, a bright sunny day, if you, turn on the flashlight, you will not see the flashlight. It's like that. The light is so strong outside that you don't even realize there's a flashlight there.
She said, Tandan to Tamaban, they charge about to move that I Suzu send the Rat and the Chitako, it was to shut that.
Right now, in our ordinary, because of our ordinary, state, and our minds, are all like overwhelmed by these delusional minds, like attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth, that these subtle minds all kind of covered completely with that.
Then pi nyama pa lagi gonda changji ta gonda chajo kara ane ngazo lokpa na pingela kawa jam ta te thongdo wa ode ngazo ta na thama be nawa de shembe lo de pa chu na ani sem ani sem sawo sari gita de ko sar sar jene ai peche ko tanto chalo ko.
And so just like, and then as it becomes, as the sun sets and then, it becomes darker and darker, then, your flashlight, which was not visible at all, but now becomes very bright and you can see the object very clearly. So just like that, when our, the ordinary appearance comes less and less, then the internal, the subtle mind will manifest, and then that will work, to do the practice, and then it will be much faster to achieve the realizations.
Yeza that tendrigi kanji ge ngabi nyamle sete nipa chembo shuk chembo andang to pena ndoi kabla ya tab da shermi kha jendo tab nyamle da shermi kha yung do nga kala lo chigi ninga peche tang to.
Then also, there's like in the sutra, we have separate mind, for doing the practice of the method and the practice of the wisdom, right? So it can't be done with the same time with one mind, but in the other practice, it can be done with the same, with one mind at the same time.
Je khandar ta tendrigi nipa shuk chembo yung de so umanya to bishara to de.
And so what makes it really powerful like that is because it's based on the understanding of emptiness.
Eh? Ngazo pewe lo sala ti shiba market kati yuse jor. Ta ngazo kek chembo yung de kare jine gre.
Because
Ti shimbo yung ile no market shito ye. Kek do re. Dela kek shimbo yung de jine gre kare. Kek shimbo yung de kek chede. Ari
in Tibetan, there's a tusen haran.
이제 도마치 조라치
And
이 마르코는 두셔줘다. 배는 그냥 객소로 해서 뭐 펜트네요.
so like there's a dish in Tibetan, which is made of all butter. It's like they mix the cheese, the dry cheese, and then it's like a tiny yam, like a sweet potato, very tiny one. So it's made of that, and so that dish, is delicious because of butter. It's because of butter. But in here, you say that cake is delicious because of what? Sugar or what? Or cream?
cream sugar. 이 텐도. 나한테 텐데기 니바치 뭐 영어데 간지 또 가데레스. 또 시셔 또 많이 또 시작 가데레스.
So like that, what makes the tantra practice very powerful is because of the understanding of emptiness.
제가 토모라면 있는데 저가 나와서 또 많이 또 비셔때 나고 nen도 아니 텐데가 장제에서 또 많이 얘기 아바데 nen데 제수 지라더니 시에네 말이야 슈초그레스.
When you have, they call it the common path, because it's common to both sutra and tantra. That's therefore it's called common path. Those are the renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness. So when you have that, when you have gained a good understanding or certain level of understanding or realization of that common path, then you can enter into the tantric path.
아니 college the high school 드리메라 college 로요래. high school the think all the 드리메라 college 로요래.
It's like, you can't go to college without the high school degree, right? Or what do you call that, secondary or the elementary school, right? Degrees. Without that, you will not be able to go to college, right?
예,
College without high school degree
이거 대도치
or equivalent.
very special ones. 제가 연주 샤서 양답에 따와 들고 아니 고아 메발라 나 마음이 쉬고 말해서 삐트네요.
Like that, so without the realization or at least the good understanding about renunciation, bodhicitta, and emptiness, there's no way you can engage in the practice of tantra.
양 나서도 양 소위냐는 제거들이 말.
Then it's called the secret, tantra. Secret is called secret and because the practice of the tantra has to be done in secret, not in public, but in secret, in private.
제가 대상도 바로 미얀마 같은 배 기비신이 돼서 그 근데 여기 가라 미치 수치게 냐 미치게 하고 말. shuma gomba zote kala ani ma nyamle chi kala goya gan sowe yushe tene yore so ko ma nyamle chi tene sam shini haku ko yushe pena daro to trobo dan chi.
And so the like Kadamba masters, they do the practice, tantric practice, but they do it in a very secret, private or very secretly. And no one will know that they do tantric practice until like maybe sometime like when they pass away. Then looking at their belongings, seeing those tantric substances in their belonging, then that's he was a tantric practitioner.
안 가지 나 가지 나발 가지 안 이랬어 어제 거 민도 법이지 자기도 했더니 이랬어.
Then some people say, why should it be kept secret, right? Why can't you do it? Why can't you do it openly in public?
가리가리만 하고 그러서 마셔 가지 가리가리 고에 올라 가리가리만 소타 가리면 아주 학식인도 없었다나. 얘는 상황고 민도 왔으라고.
You can find out all about the deities, right? If you go on the internet, you can find all the images of all the deities, right? It's not secret anymore. You don't have to keep it secret.
이번에 내가 그래. 나라서 먹겠어. 미사말로 수수 싸워도. 얘들 아주 하고도 내가 참아 좀 맞다면도. 뭐 그러고 내가 용도.
Well, each of us will have our secrets, right? So we don't want everything to be shown to people or be known by others, right?
제가 가리바 하고와 시바tam지 코 잡다 제도 되네 말다데 직대로 다뤄와. 너알에나 단다 델니 니바 채용 거.
So in like ordinary world, we keep all these things secret, right? We don't show everything, right? We don't share everything. We have our personal life, that we don't want to be shared with others or others to know about it, right? And then in tantric practice, even there's more stronger reason keep it secret.
에야 상와치나 야 니바 대용 채우더니 여사다 고토모 위치 주더니.
And so like if it's kept secret or in private, low profile, then it's like more successful. Practice becomes more successful, less hindrance and so forth.
야 티슈 되는 데부터 야 되는 담수 송 거거든요. 담수 맞는 데부터 요 말이야.
Then also, of course, there are many commitments, like tantric promises that you take, or vows that you take, and then you have to keep them properly. Otherwise, again, if you don't keep those vows properly, then we will not be able to achieve any realization.
일단 나도 빼라고 자신나. 또 내가 이 제와라 내가 되고 레고 되고 참 제초 제마초 제고 따다다는 틀을 줘. 대말나 그 틀을 용 말아. 대치 말이야.
So you have to follow those rules or the vows in order to achieve the realization. Just like even in the business, like in the office or business, you have rules, right? Or things that you have to do and things you should not do. And if you do it, then you will become successful. Don't follow those rules, then you will not be successful.
나도 뭐 잘해. 나서도 뭐 양대 제한다가 요지. 아니 제 옛날 고약에 안에 담수도 마찬가지로 나도 내가 듣고 말이야.
Most of us, we have this interest, to do the tantric practice, but most of us were not able to keep our vows purely, right, properly, and therefore we're not able to achieve any realizations of the tantra.
어찌 당이 들면 다 쉬운 말이야. 대답해 보면 제다까지 든든히 내버진 영어 더소야. 아직 또 많이 또 비셔 되요.
We're not really going to be discussing or studying about the tantra, so don't worry about it. The reason why I'm saying that is because to do such kind of powerful practice, which is very quick way to achieve enlightenment, you need to have the understanding of emptiness.
딱 보면 이걸 아니야. 그냥 남중한도 오마세시요. 오마세시와 또 많이 셔야 돼요.
So then that emptiness, is called the middle way also. So middle way, the madhyamika or middle way.
되게 꼴이야. 남중한도 아니 지다와 셔라세야. 오만 주바세야. 자와때 시샤니 다된다와 뭐 못해야 된다. 이꼴이야. 네가 또 많이 꼴이야. 몇단 담으라 뭐 보지는 자와 뭐 보는 거 있단다. 람림 치면다 따뜻 자와 뭐 보여서 하나 쇼줄래. 그거 나야 되는 저거 빼먹어 보여.
So then about the emptiness, there are 4 different schools, right? Have different way of explaining, asserting about the emptiness. And then because of that, then there comes many debates, right? So it's also in the Lamrim here, and that explains about the debates and different views, right? The different views about emptiness, and in the ninth chapter of the Guidance Way of Life also have extensive explanation about that view, and there are also many like debates that I see included. So this all came from the Buddha's teaching, which was translated into Tibetan, and it's called the Kagyu. Translated teachings of the Buddha. And then, of course, the teaching, when we say the Buddha's teaching, it has to be teaching taught by the Buddha. Then there is a commentary, so there's like 108 volumes, of the Buddha's teaching. Then there is, the commentary to Buddha's teaching, and then also that's also translated into Tibetan. It's called Tengyur. Like 200 something volumes of Tengyur, or translated teachings of the commentary to Buddha's teaching. So the commentaries are all written by the Indian masters. So commentary to Buddha's teaching, there's a Buddha's teaching, which is called the Kanjuru, and the Buddha's teaching, and that was translated. It's called Kanjuru. Then there's a commentary to the Buddha's teaching called Ten, and then that is translated also and called Tenjur. And those commentaries are all the Indian masters. Some of them, Indian masters, you can see in the actually it's in there on the picture next to the bookshelf. Yeah, the last one in around the Buddha there. 17, the masters. Those are all great scholars, from Nalanda Monastery in India. Well, we can't understand Buddha's teaching, and then somebody has to comment it on that. Even that we're not able to understand. So there's a commentary to commentary of the commentary, and then there's like all these teachings around that. Great stages of part in Admabalaman Sankapa or the branch and the form of here, and all these are the commentary, of the commentary.
Okay.
In the monastery, they study these 5 great texts to become a Geshe. That's also the same kind of text, and they study that. And so there's so all these teachings of the Buddha, which includes both the practice, the teachings on the Sutra and Tantra, and then in the Sutra, there's like the path and there's method and wisdom. So the method, is like the great compassion, bodhicitta, renunciation, and so forth, and then the wisdom, is the wisdom lies in emptiness.
Okay, that is going to do something there.
But it was sort of start here today, okay?
Nipa shiraji ngol langzong la sum sajidu. Andina ngazo ta tanda peshade ane tanda labarji pa andina shoku bombo nepe nyuresha. Dira ngazo shoku kosa mari. Tanda ma chimro. Ane ya chodo tele ma lo china ngazo laurum chimro pando shayare. Tela tame tena pa. Epa chuji. Kansaga tame tena pa chuji tame tena pa. Tela langzong jitse lo sumde. Chibato. Nipa shiraji ngol langzong la sumde. Shi tame pa tena pa. Chuji tame pa tena pa. Ane tela langzong la sumde.
You have the liberation palm in your hand, right? So there's like 3 main subjects, like 3 main categories on the special insight. So establishing selflessness of person, establishing the selflessness of phenomena, and then how to train on the special insight on those. Is that right?
Organ, Strongly, which book you have?
Yes.
It.
Go for the page for it.
What organ? I think you can say organ they can find maybe. If you guys are looking for text, okay, there's zombie people. They teach it is Kusawa.
Yeah.
Then you saw chance. Because you take a saw chance.
After these,
No, who updates it? Organ better. Maybe yeah, I think January what page
you
number?
found it?
It starts on outline 414. It says how to train in the very essence of wisdom, special insight. But I don't know if
Oh, they didn't.
You heard it.
They did the update on my the iPad, and then after that, it's all messed up. Then the text, the whole text
Page
is
is 620. 620 in the book. In this
620.
book.
blue book. It's outline 414.
The Niba, Payona Nibala, Niba Sharping or Hunter Raptor said, Kumikora.
So this is the second, right? Is that among the two, the karma binding and the special insight? So the first is the karma binding, and that's concentration. The second is the wisdom, right? And so that's talking about special insight. This is the second one has 3 categories. Does it say that? In the living the with your hand? No?
Yes, it says that on right under 414 outline. There's 3 subheadings.
Ascertaining not existence of the personal self and ascertaining not existence of self and phenomenon.
Yeah.
And then the way to develop.
Yeah, okay, those are the 3 categories.
And the Niba said, being a last, not to touch in a laptop. And something you patch it, a sharp you patch it, something you patch it, doesn't laptop, patch it to you.
So the first one is, like I said, there's karma binding, right? There's concentration. And the second is the special insight. You guys have already developed karma binding, right? Now we're going to move to the special insight. Say yes, just for auspiciousness.
And then Santo said, Karitan, they took on Yamna, Chapon to Ade, Sure, Chanel Chapon to answer the court.
So, anyway, so it's called and the actual the word for the special insight. What's the special insight? What is like? You see some, you have insight of something, right? And then you have a special insight. Is it like So you what do you see is normally what you see is like ordinary things. Then now you see the reality, right? You get the special insight, or it's extra. So you get extra knowledge, or you see extra things now.
나가나 당한도 신의디 곰고래 신의디 안에 곰되니까야 아니 지도 도고로 이시제다 시시제는 대화지 딱 무슨 시제는 대화 참바정 좀 이해가라야 냐마신에 딱 로드 따와대도 그랬더니 그 대화 되다.
So let's say you have achieved the karma binding, right? You have had this the physical and mental plancy, right? Where you have where you are experiencing the great bliss of your the physical and mental plancy, and you can remain or abide on that object, concentration for as long as you want, right?
아도 지금 다 되게 딱든 뺀다 단데 사제 게임 기잖아. 내가 곰자가다. 우리 딸 가서는 대토다. 일단 저는 이 마야 같은 때 대화하는 마다 다 리스템 시장 대화 쳐봤더니 그 대토다.
So you are experiencing this great bliss of the mental and physical plancy that you can stay on the object for as long as you want. Right? So let's say this is an object, like the object, any object that you are using to achieve karma binding. Then now you're able to concentrate on that. So you can see that all the time. You don't get any distractions. Your mind is fully concentrated on that object.
아 사모님이 거 다더니 곰자가 대대고 주고 사모님이 거
Well, now your mind is not only looking at the object, but now you have to move it a little further from just seeing the object.
아까 이걸 다들 가르쳐야지. 이거 가르쳐. 네 라지 가르쳐. 다시 저거다.
You see the object, and then you say, "What is this? What is this object?" What is the nature of this object? What's the function of this object? Like that, so then you try to expand your focus, more on the object. So that's called the analytical meditation. So you're analyzing about the object. And so then you look into the nature of this object. Keep on looking for, this nature. What is the nature of this object? Is this? Is it this? Is it that? Is that? What is the nature? You keep on looking. And then when you see the reality, which is the emptiness, when you see the emptiness of that object, then that's when you have, again, the insight, especially insight of that object. You're not only seeing the object, but you're seeing more than the object. It's like more, like a special insight. You're not having just the insight of the object, but you're now having the nature of the reality of that object. So if you see that, If you see that, then you don't have to study. All that.
About Mark, you got it?
I was still thinking about your tantra thing. Writing it down. So I had a pretty good insight.
Okay. 나도 대다 도도 되다 이나 다 대용와라 다티 다 나갈라가 trouble 나갈래 동만야 갈래 다 티고는 대시 다마 다시 되니 텐데세 텐주사 대신에 다 이게 된다다 고고야지 다 진짜도 아니 구바다 리파모 거다.
So we just talked about this, right? The nature, the reality, of that object. What is it? And then, so then there's all these different texts, like we talked about the teachings of the Buddha, the commentaries to the teachings of the Buddha. All this is trying to explain that, the nature of the reality, of that object. So then, so like I mentioned during the karma abiding, so first, in order to achieve the karma abiding, you just use one object, right? Then when you have achieved the karma abiding, then you can shift into any object, and then you can, just concentrate easily on any kind of object. Once you have mastered in one, then you can use any other object, to concentrate on.
Research chenge benen theribana somdar da kanga chibare mdo kodo kemba to kanga jaga do oti so no ngoro.
And so now, once you have achieved the karma abiding on one object, then you once you have achieved that, right? Until you achieve, you use the same object, but once you have achieved, then you can move to any object. So now, you have moved, like say, you move to the object I, for the self, right? Do I exist? Do I exist or not? Do I exist from my own side or not? Like that. So this is it, you're analyzing about that. And then all these different texts, they're all explaining in different ways, like the four Buddhist schools of thoughts or the tenets, explain in different ways. And then you analyze about all this, right? So just like, a scientist, they're doing research on a particular object. So even if it's the same object, but different people do in a different ways, right? So, different scientists, will do in a different ways. It's just like that. So we have a different views, or different schools of thoughts to analyze about that reality or emptiness in different ways. All the scientists say
Physical seriba kanga tum chore.
physics.
Physics. Seriba kanga chiba marwa.
Not all the scientists are the same, right? They don't, even though they are analyzing on the same object, but can be analyzing or researching in different ways, right?
And Rota Tino Chibare, and those Sharamon, Dodeva, Omaraja Batava, the Chibaro, Shada, Dametan Pevala, Petamandava.
It's like that, so similar to that. There's different schools of thoughts or tenets. The purpose of that is because they're all searching or researching or establishing the emptiness or selflessness in a different ways.
Oh, the Chitandela, that Tombola need and the Kaza Dametanabala, need that Patamata near this, Nyamjata, and the Gomjata Chita, Jeta to Gomjata Chiores.
Then the establishing the selflessness of the person has two, right? The outline, it says two. And then there's like, how do you meditate in the meditative voice? How to concentrate? Further?
냠자들 somtanta kanemba, jetapto somtanta kanemba.
So how do you think, during the meditative voice? And then how do you think post meditation?
누랑고토 다 담보라 가장이 베네, 차왕이 베네, 땡고베 장이 베네다. 가로 네, 댐비 치타댕이 베네, 댐비 트타댕이 다 누랑고토 건.
The text.
다들만 누랑고토 거네.
It's the previous page it starts.
And various version. Oh yeah, so this is there are two more headings, right? So it says how to pursue the absorption, resembling spirit. What's another?
냠자 동이, 냠자 대비 종서다, 제타 대비 종서나. 냠바샤네 가리 공고레스, 제타보다 가리 공고레스.
Hallelujah. 그러니까 넘버들을
The first several outlines, it talks more about sort of the origins of it from Nagarjuna to Aryadeva and Chandrakirti, and then I think it gets to, the.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you just have to go a little bit. You can keep that. I'll get a copy from the library.
No, it's okay. I have, but it's kind of all over the place now. I know that. You thought of Tim the holiday.
이번 like that. 결합증 올 하더라도 like that.
그런 거 들어가죠.
네, 되니까 안 돼. 디골 같아. 강사가 때는 봐봐. 주제다 때는 봐봐. 예, 한도 제틀로스. 네, 동벌의 니스. 남자 남과 대비 중서다. 제도 점마 대비 중서로스. 그래서 아 동벌라스. 아니 가장이 비네스. 남자 남과 대비 가자등이 가자하고 그래서 네 차방이 비네스. 댐비 치당이 비네. 댐비 트타등이 비네.
Okay, so the first one is how to train in the very essence of wisdom, special insight, right? So this has three subheadings, like ascertaining the non-existence of the personal self, and ascertaining the non-existence of this phenomena, self or phenomena, then the way you develop special insight. So those are the three main ones. And then the first one now, ascertaining the non-existence of the personal self, self of person. So there are two more headings here. So how to pursue the absorptions, resembling space, and then when not in absorption, or like during the meditative voice, the post meditative voice, how to pursue the attitude that things are like an illusion.
And
then the first one, how to pursue the absorption, resembling space, right? So that one has like four categories. And they have four key points to be determined. So what is to be refuted? And what are the full set of possibilities? How the self and aggregates cannot be truly same. And how the self and aggregates cannot be truly different. These are the complicated parts, points. So it says the first one is what is to be refuted, right? Refutation, right? So what is to be refuted? So you have to find out what is to be refuted. So you have to understand what is to be refuted. So you are trying to refute, right? Are you trying to refute when you meditate on emptiness, like you're trying to negate something or refute something? So what is that you're trying to refute? Right? Just like when if you want to shoot, with the arrow or gun, the target you have to understand. You have to you have to see the target or the bullseye where you are shooting, right?
Okay, 다 가자, 뭐 가자도 하고니, 근데 다 템, 매워서 그러다.
So first you have to identify the object of repetition.
다 가자도 가르잖아, 내버려 봐대.
So what is the object of repetition? You know?
True existence.
True existence, yes.
Yes.
So the true existence, is to be refuted. We think that it exists truly, but it doesn't, right? So that is something that doesn't exist truly, and so things do not exist truly. Therefore, but we have to understand what is that first. Of course, you said that, and then how do we refute that?
다 대가나 다 덴바 탄데 오마 탄지블로 시작진도나 간지 덴바 점나 간지 잡고 그래서 뭐 덴바 좀 요마들라 그래 맨날 덴바 점나 간지 잡고 그래서 어때 하고 거다.
And so we easily say that it's a true existence, right? But then what is true existence? Right? If it exists truly, how should it exist? You have to be able to recognize or catch it.
어째다 덴바 점는 늘이 잡고 그랬는데 누가 되면 덴바 잡고 말해서 다시 되고.
If it exists truly, then it should exist in this way. Because it doesn't exist in this way, therefore it doesn't exist.
얘네 덴바도 지게요 말이스. 덴바도 니에요 말이스.
So he's saying that there's no truly existing one, or there's no existing many.
Okay.
No truly existing many.
딴데 덴바 두 그래.
This stick, does it exist truly?
What?
But it's not partless, it has parts in it, it's dependent. The parts are dependent upon other things, it didn't just manifest. And it's not permanent.
You just say or you just heard or you really know that?
Well,
that's good. Like that. But it's a lot we just say, we think we knew, but we really doesn't know. All of us. Okay? 방금 다 드니샤.
Okay. So,
제가 단디 걸었다 동반인데 땡데 걸어 고맙게 보래.
so we just want to start here, and we'll leave here for today, and just have to you have to meditate more. Study and meditate more on emptiness and on dependent arising.
아니 단데 걸어야 아니 땡데 또봐 이런 보시고. 아니
isn't it better to meditate on dependent arising first?
아무 때 하고 단데를 너무 조금씩 내 조금씩 내 조금씩다. 내 조금씩 오늘 삼다.
그래서 정말 돈이라 가서 돈이 건발라. 돈이 건발 살았다는 땡들 건발에 대해 같이 말했어.
이게죠. 대대 처리.
Yes, it will be easier, better, yeah.
근데 땡데 뭐 돈이 또 왜 말이야?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to understand dependent rising, right? And that with so then through that, then it will become easier to understand about emptiness. What do we say? What do we say emptiness? What is it's empty of? Empty of existing by itself, thought dependent. So then it's easier to understand.
아 단단히 시는 담보 주 조금씩 단단히 조금 말이 조금씩.
So of course, this is all done with the analysis. So it's an analytical meditation. It's not a placement meditation. It's more like analyzing.
땡데 인수, 땡데 비진스, 땡데 많이 좀 가려워.
So then you can think about like if it's dependent rising, you can't just say it's dependent rising. How is it dependent rising? What the faults are there if it is dependent rising? I mean, it's not if it's not dependent rising. What faults are there? So you have to think about all these things to make it clear as possible.
일단 안주 같은 데 안주 소소 막아서 미시러 와. 그 참말 소소 막아서 미리요다. 제가 밑에 저거는 미리가 막아서 야고 책임도 없삼 거래. 제가 대상고 요한테 안주 까지 땡데 내 조금 없다래.
Like we all have somebody that we don't like, right? Like the enemy. We say, I hate. So that person.
Hate that person.
So that. So the minute and the minute to tell you,
무슨 chamber 그래서 땡땡이 도구면서 때 두샤인 바 독자 쉬우지가 않는 거다.
Then we see that person as being really bad, right? That person is really bad, truly bad. So that's because we don't realize the dependent rising. That person is not truly bad. What made the person bad also, depends on us, right? All these things. So because we don't understand that dependent rising enough, therefore we blame completely on that person being bad to us.
단들이 골랐다 땡데 골섬 땡데 아주 대시 땡데 도배 탈압해서 지금 죄송해요.
So therefore, you should strive in understanding the dependent rising.
Okay? That's more analytic meditation. This is not Google. Google doesn't go in. You could read the Nagarjuna Shandakirti Rupadado. Shandakirti, those books, very detailed, very sharp, but sometimes they makes very confused. Therefore, here very short. Lama Tsongawa, the third chapter, right? How to say?
It says in chapter 7, but it's like 250 pages.
Yeah, this is very detailed.
Full volume.
A lot of debates. If you said that, how about that? If you said that, how about that? If you said that, how about that? The debate all, like the excuse. But the final just goal is to understand the emptiness. Yes. The question?
Yeah, so I hope I can ask this question.
Yeah, you ask question. Any questions?
Lama Geshe writes a book called Mahamudra,
Right.
Which and it's a commentary, I think, maybe on Tsongkhapa's text, and he presents Mahamudra as a way of understanding emptiness on the basis of the view, not on the basis of analysis. Under Geshe-la can speak to how Mahamudra is understood in the relation to analytical meditation, and Lama Geshe writes in a very kind of accessible way that anybody can engage with.
마음들었을 가르쳤더니 동반이 걸어왔을 때 동반이 걸었을 때 라메시디 가서 데빌라 가서 콘센스나데 제발은 맞지 따와 가서 따와라 그냥 오늘 송샤스 디디 이 간데라 디 계시라 직송도서를
근데 제발 쇼바
마음으로
마블레스나 간지 미다 간지 돈이 오베타와 돈이 더 싫어 헬라고.
Mahamudra actually is a wisdom, realizing emptiness. Mahamudra is a wisdom realizing emptiness.
라지 마트와 도베타와 라지 마트와 켈레베 켈레 데디 타와 데디 토바 호텔에다 간지 마마트라스 타이라고.
So you can say it's a view or understanding, that asserts or that accepts that things do not exist inherently. So that view or that understanding is called Mahamudra.
아니 다들 이거 등이라고 그러대. 초대요 그 다니나 말아. 야배나 니마가 죽겠지나 도바치 말라다 샘모 잡아. 수주 샘라지 집에 또에 아지 못 잡아들라. 아니 혹시 뭐냐면서.
Then in like Nyingma tradition, they use this great completion like the an dzogchen, like dzogchen or great completion stage, a great completion, and there is person sumotoba. So that's like also understanding your mind. So understanding the mind that realizes emptiness.
에 샘지 어디 도만에 라지 트마녀와 데바트 마녀와 뭐사시 타와 임바 근데 어디나 안 도바치 못해 지나때 다니지만 담으로다 같이 도도지나 따뜻 투로.
So it's understanding the emptiness of the mind itself, so that how the mind is not existing from its one side, how it is not existing inherently, and so forth. So that's the meaning of of course there are many different ways of explaining, but that's the meaning of the great completion.
대파전에 파악이 못되는 대로요. 아다 당강이 라이바 아주 샘 그도 누말 리치지면 그셔서 간지 샘사리 모두 받을 샘때 아니 무슨에 사진 거로 왔다 리테 사지가 근데 이질이 라질이 돌아가요 어떤 하냐면은 다 시작으로.
So then that's how it's connected in the practice of the tantra, where you say where we talk about this mind and the body, so the subtle mind and the subtle body, that that eventually becomes the Buddha's body, like the mind, the subtle mind becomes the Dharmakaya, and then the subtle body becomes the Rupakaya.
이제 다 그냥 가 시당 하고 싶으면 되는 게 다 되고 가져와시 되면서 근데 도도 놓으시나 다 도도.
I'm not really, learned or master in tantra, but in short, that's what it's explained.
다 가지 칼라 신부에서 갈 거래. 다 거래. 참나 칼라 신부 와야 말아.
In order to make a delicious food, what do you need?
사드메드 말아라.
Salt.
Again.
사드메드
Without salt, the food will not be delicious, right?
제가 때 동안이 또 따면나 단 전용통 말다.
So without an understanding of emptiness, practice of tantra, like the completion stage or the great completion or the great seal or the Mahamudra, will not be possible.
사면에 칼라스나 코 트라이 말할 것 같아. 지금 마사라더라.
Without the salt, there will be no taste in the food, right?
근데
Even though you say, oh, okay, it's good not to have too much salt, but just eat it, even if it's not tasty.
제가 동안이 따오면은 가서 가는데 엄마는 지금 나도 가야 돼. 나도 남친 가서 이게 가도 거는 때문에 가도 말할 거. 녀면서 때 말이지.
Usually when we say like I'm reciting mantra, like we say reciting, so that recitation is considered as a mantra, as a tantra, But that's not the mantra. Of course, it's the the mantra of the deity, so you can say it's mantra. I would say I'm reciting mantra, but that's not the one that we really consider as the tantric practice.
Okay. Any question? Okay, like that. Okay. Did that a little bit make sense? Does a little bit make sense? Or just go totally different direction? Like that. Like here, like this, totally different direction. A little close?
No,
Okay. Any question?
oh,
Okay, good.
thank you for your tantra speech.
Okay, now with the top. And next time we can do, just one, we can try to finish it. Not too long. If you guys more interest, we can go to the Lamrim Jumbo, 200 pages. Yes, we check which one better. Okay. Okay, now let's start.
Please turn to page 39 of the Kurukulla Center Prayer Book for Thanksgiving Mandala offering. My two collections practice may become all those whose minds right. Even though I have not reached the state of loving my life like your shape, may I find the best leading great paths in the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhists by practicing. Using skillful means strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings, and so as I have discerned them. May I follow the Buddha's teachings to a very long time. With my heart going out, great compassion for precious teachings and not spread happiness. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted in God's peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. I even this great force to enlighten and complete through wondrous virtuous conduct of the and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be from the Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that circle, we benefit and joy. And in Gyatso Chenrezig, life till samsara. Stoic teachings of transmigratory beings who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion. Lotus in the hand who attends in Gyatso at the seat, all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lamrim Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's mortal way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading my just and glorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, take care of myself and others your disciples, please, please. 7, prayer of dedication. This virtue, I swiftly having gained glorious day, makes each and every sentient without exception in that state. Precious Supreme Bodhi Mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forever. 75, Niksema. Niksema Terchen we make and pay on compilation. Function kepe sugen songapa sangrakpe apasoa.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Geshe-la.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, Geshe-la.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Geshe-la. Thank you,
Geshe-la.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bob.
Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.